He's Tim.
And he's Sam.
And this is Cinematators.
That's right. And tonight we have a very special show, and we're going to do 4 of our favorite scenes from another Christmas classic from the 60s. Sam, what's it called?
A Charlie Brown Christmas. Tonight
Sam,
we have a special guest. You think, oh, really? I think O'Mealy. Chris O'Mealy.
Yeah, I was put Chris in the middle.
Not the worst entrance ever, but I'll take it. Gentlemen, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me on Cinematators.
Let's do it, Charlie Brown.
Okay, so Melendez and Schultz and all them, they decided, no, we're not going to have adults play the children. We're going to cast actual children. So some of these kids were like 6 years old, and they had to feed them their lines, sometimes half a line at a time, which is why it's got this weird cadence, like especially the 6-year-old playing Sally Brown.
I have been extra good this year.
But it makes it so much more genuine.
My favorite part is right at the end of this scene, where it's such an awkward delivery, but I love it every time.
All I want is what I have coming to me. All I want is my fair share.
When you know that they're feeding her these lines like half a line at a time, and she's only 6, so you got to give her credit for that.
I think they matched the ages pretty well, though, because, forgive me for not knowing my Peanuts lore that deeply. Sally is supposed to basically be the little kid of the group. She's supposed to be a kindergartner.
Yeah, she's
that would put her right around that age.
Yeah, Kathy Steinberg, who did her voice, was 6 at the time. So That's about the correct age. She should be maybe 5 or 6. It works.
Kids playing kids, and you can tell, and it gets over.
Did any of these kids grow up to actually be pretty famous?
The girl who played Sally in the later years actually turned out she had a pretty good singing career with the Black Eyed Peas.
That's right. I do remember that tidbit.
Yeah.
What? Hold on. She's Fergie?
Not the one in this one when Kathy Steinberg aged out of the role. It was one of the later episodes. She did the voice of Sally Brown, and then she went on to become a singer.
Fergie?
Yeah, Fergie.
Is there another Fergie?
Fergalicious?
Yeah.
Some scripts and pass them out. Now the script girl will be handing out your part.
You're the innkeeper's wife. Do innkeepers' wives have naturally curly hair?
They can have whatever they want. Shut up.
The innkeeper.
Whatever.
In spite of my outward appearance, I shall try to run a neat inn.
Good luck with that.
Shirley, you're a shepherd.
I always end up playing a shepherd.
Because you got your own
Snoopy,
shepherding staff.
you'll have to be all the animals in our play. Can you be a sheep? How about a cow? How about a penguin?
Now that dog should be winning the Westminster Dog Show.
Yes, he's even a good penguin.
And now he's Rocky.
No. Listen, all of you. You've got to take direction.
He makes a really good Lucy.
Did impression of.
Have respect for your director. I ought to slug you.
That is animal abuse?
Germs, get some iodine.
Yeah, I feel you, Snoopy. One thing I just want to say about this scene is Charlie Brown's supposed to be the director, right? And I understand he kind of dictated that role to Lucy, but look how quickly she tried to take control. Oh yeah, you're going to be this person. You're going to do this, and you're going to do this. Like, okay, well, he's still the director. You got to have respect for your director. Are you sure that you're talking about him? Because I really feel like you're talking about yourself.
And not only that, she's the one who declared him the director, and then all of a sudden she just usurps that. In that one moment, here, hand out the scripts and these blankets as people are going to wear as costumes.
You know why?
Everything looked like a blanket.
Because she wanted the power, but she didn't want to do work. That's why. And that way, if it failed, it falls on him. And if it's successful, she gets to take credit for choosing him as a director. So this is true in every single Peanut special. Go back to the comic strip. I don't think this is a false statement in any capacity. But Lucy is a raging and I can't say it any more blatant than that. I'll tone it down now. Lucy is awful. She is the worst character. She threatened Snoopy. She threatened to punch the dog. That is animal abuse. That wasn't cool in 1965 either.
We all know that Christmas is a big commercial racket.
Well, this is one play that's not going to be commercial.
Look, Charlie Brown, what do you want?
The proper mood. We need a Christmas tree.
Hey, perhaps a tree. A great, big, shiny aluminum Christmas
Like she came
tree.
up with the idea.
You get the tree. I'll handle this crowd.
One thing I appreciate about this special is it's all about commercialism and Christmas, which, yes, I understand the message they're going for, and it was a timely message back in the 60s. But because this is one of those specials that has no pop culture references, nothing is dating it, this is one of the reasons why this is such a timeless special. And you can kind of say the same thing about the Grinch, right? Yes, there was the underlining theme was he thinks that the materialistic part of Christmas is what's making them happy, but it's actually the spirit of it. Again, yes, that has been a thing in the 20th century that started rising was the commercialism of Christmas, I'm sure. The advent of television and advertising and all that. So the specials are poignant, but at the same time, they're timeless because they're not referencing specific stuff. I think this stands out, and the whole message, again, they're putting on a Christmas play, but at most they're going to end up doing a nativity scene, which is classic as it gets. They're not parodying Marilyn Manson or Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Manson, that'd be awesome. Don't edit that. They're not parodying anything from that time period. They're not commenting on American culture. They're commenting on general culture. And commercialism in Christmas is still an issue in the 21st century. So I'm not going to say anything negative about the monologue. I know better than to say anything about religion in any capacity. Peanuts was a show with Christian overtones. Everybody knows that. Now, earlier, Linus is complaining about the lines he has to memorize. He's never going to be able to memorize these lines. He clearly has no problem memorizing things because he freaking kills it here. So maybe he should have tried harder.
You know, originally they were worried about putting the religious quotation into an animated show because it was looked at like animation was crass and childish. And they're like, this doesn't show it the reverence that it's supposed to have. Charles Schultz was like, no, I'm insulted by the fact that you would call animation crass. And secondly, I think the religious part of this doesn't belong just in the church and just to the religious leaders. It belongs to everybody. So we should be allowed to share this message through our little animation special.
Perfect example of a good Christian, Charles Schultz.
All right, guys. That was A Charlie Brown Christmas. What are we thinking? Chris, you can go first.
I already kind of touched on this earlier, but I think it still holds true. This is a very timeless classic. Yes, it's done with virtually no budget, and yet somehow it still holds up. It's the simplicity of it that I think gives it its charm. It tells a very simple story. It's something that I think a lot of us can relate to, and it's one of those things that I feel like I can't believe they touched on this in the 60s, but like just getting older and coming to terms with my own mental health issues. Seasonal depression is a very real thing. Christmas can be a very stressful time. Charlie Brown literally doesn't know why he's depressed. Just take a look at the way they're treating you, and I think he'd figure it out. But it's oddly relatable too, because everybody can relate to a character like Charlie Brown. Everybody in their life, whether they want to admit it or not, has been an outcast at some point, has been bullied at some point. You know what that feels like. Everybody knows a character like Lucy. Everybody knows somebody who's just brash for no reason. Their ego is gigantic. It's their way or the highway. They'll find a way to take credit for everything. And I'm willing to bet that, I was watching it when I was 8. I'm watching it now while I'm 38. And when I'm 68, if I'm still around, I bet you I'm going to keep watching it. So to get something so simple and have just a good message, and really the message behind it is to just be a good person at Christmas time.
I grew up with this. It's a classic, brings me back to my childhood when I watch it. It's not dated. It's not as cynical. And it's got such a nice spirit to it that it just holds up.
Grew up with Charlie Brown Christmas, watched it every year, just like watching A Christmas Story every year, just part of what you do during Christmas. I even have the little mini tree somewhere. I don't know if we put it up this year, but it's there. It's just kind of a part of the season and the spirit of it.
Chris Imitators. He was Tim.
And he's Sam. And in the middle is Chris.
Was Chris O'Malley.
First guest. Oh,
Woo!
So excited. So happy. Chris, plug your stuff.
I'm on the major social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also TikTok that I've actually started experimenting with and having fun with. At Chris O'Malley. Not doing anything clever. It just makes it easier to find me. If you guys want to check out any of my content, I have a podcasting channel called CKCC Video. It's currently being ran by all of my friends. I'll have their content on there. I'm launching a solo channel, so I no longer infest my own channel with excessive content of my own. When that channel launches, I will absolutely be sure to let you guys know. I'm still kind of working on some details there, but if you go to CKCC Video on YouTube, you can see all of my video content, new stuff coming all the time, and I am being more active on Twitch, CKCC Online on Twitch. If you want to watch me play the entire catalog of Super Nintendo games as a project, I'm actually making some pretty good progress on that. And I've played way more stinkers than gems at this point. Super Mario World, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, and Super Castlevania 4 are my current S-tier games. There are several games in the F tier, including Pit Fighter and Ultraman, which already had those reputations going into it, but I still had to play them and figure that out on my own.
Nice.
I have a lot of video projects I am working on. Problem with video projects is they are time consuming, as you gentlemen know. So I'm not adhering to a schedule on that, but I am going to try to launch a new weekly podcast, just me, on one channel you guys can subscribe to. And when it is live, these guys here, we're gonna do partner plugs, and I will plug them every single week and give them shout outs. So that's how you can find me and support me. Other than that,
I'm going to put links to everything Chris just said down below. So please look at the links down below. It's going to have a whole Chris O'Mealy section.
Yes. And
Awesome.
as to paraphrase my buddy Eric, who I do a live show just like this with.
Shout out to Eric.
Shout out to Eric. He says the same thing when we close every show: be excellent to one another.
Nice.
Of course, we all know where that comes from, but it's
The
one of those
Simpsons.
things that reigns true. Exactly. It probably does. Somewhere in there. This time of year, guys, I don't like to be preachy, but I've been through it before. Don't be afraid to talk to people. You need any help getting through anything, never be afraid to ask for help. We're always here for you, and I have a very open line of communication for all of my friends. You ever feel like you need somebody to talk to, I'm always a message away, guys. And make your Christmas happy and merry and jolly and all that fun stuff, and buy lots of fun presents, eat lots of cookies, be fat and merry. I don't care what Lucy says. Eat all the December snow you want. You don't have to wait till January. What does that even mean? It's snow. Lucy, get over yourself.
Not yellow snow.
Well, I can't tell you what to do. And please, and this is something I say to everybody anytime I guest anywhere on any show, support content creators like Tim and Sam and myself, because we can't do this without you guys. And we appreciate you guys. Every viewer is somebody special to me, and I don't care how many times my stuff gets viewed. If people are watching, I'm going to keep producing content. So please keep supporting these content creators, subscribe to their channels, share their stuff. If you can't afford to help them financially, which is fine, sharing is free, likes are free, and comments are free.
And
Yes.
Aren't subscriptions free?
Depends on what you're subscribed to. I'm free. I'm cheap and easy. I'm free. So subscribe to my stuff. Won't cost you anything. I do have a Patreon page, but I don't hold anybody hostage to that. That's just if you really like my stuff and you want perks.
So we love every single one of you. I'm excited this channel is growing. I think we're at like 30 something subscribers now as we're talking. And I'm very excited. I don't care.
Hey,
some people were like,
who cares?
Oh, you don't have this many. I don't care. It's fun.
Who
If
cares?
You guys are,
Those 30 people are your people.
yeah, and I love it.
Mhm.
It's awesome. And if you love Drive Around like we did, please let us know in the comments. Please hit the notification bell. Do all the fun stuff so you get notified every time we come out. And
Tell us what your favorite scene was, and
Yes.
what Christmas specials are an annual tradition in your house. And do you agree with my assessment that Lucy is a raging?
all right. Well, you have Be Excellent, and Sam, we have our own thing that we say at the end of every episode, and ours sadly is from a sad point in Orlando, but we shed light to it and we move forward and together, and we don't let bad things stop us from enjoying a good time.
And keep on dancing.
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas,
everyone.
everyone.